हेलो फ्रेंड्स। आज के वीडियो में हम डिस्कस करेंगे एयर पोल्यूशन के बारे में। एयर पोल्यूशन के बेसिक्स के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे कि एयर पोल्यूशन क्या होता है, व्हाट आर द एयर पोल्यूटेंट्स, व्हाट आर द टाइप ऑफ डिफरेंट एयर पोल्यूटेंट्स। ठीक है, सोर्सेज ऑफ एयर पोल्यूशन, इफेक्ट ऑफ द एयर पोल्यूशन एंड हाउ वी कैन मैनेज द एयर पोल्यूशन। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं, वीडियो में बने रहिए। तो चलिए बात करते हैं पोल्यूशन की। सो व्हाट डू यू मीन बाई पोल्यूशन? सो पोल्यूशन मीन्स किसी भी सिस्टम की नेचुरल कंडीशन और नेचुरल इन्वायरमेंट में कोई भी अल्टरेशन होता है फॉरेन पार्टिकल के द्वारा या एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर्स के द्वारा। सो दैट व्हेन द कंडीशन इज डिस्टर्ब एंड सो दिस सिचुएशन इज नोन एज पोल्यूशन। सो पोल्यूशन मीन्स introduction of contaminants into the natural environment that cause adverse changes। तो चलिए अब हम बात करते हैं, अगर ये एडवर्स चेंजेस किस में हो, अगर वाटर में हो तो ये सिचुएशन क्या हो जाएगी, वाटर पोल्यूशन। अगर एयर में हो तो ये हो जाएगी एयर पोल्यूशन। अगर सोइल में हो तो ये हो जाएगी सोइल पोल्यूशन। अगर नॉइज की कंडीशन ज्यादा हो जाएगी या साउंड है वो एक लिमिट से ज्यादा हो जाएगी, सो दैट इज नॉइज पोल्यूशन और साउंड पोल्यूशन। सो एनीथिंग इन एक्सेस or exceed the permissible limit, so that situation known as pollution. So pollution can be from in any there are many types of substances that are responsible for the pollution, so that substance is known as pollutant, and pollutant may be solid type, they may be liquid, and they may be gaseous pollutant. So solid pollutants are particulate matters, liquid pollutants are, these are the aerosols, and the gaseous pollutants all the gases that emitted from the burning of fossil fuel and from other processes, they known as एयर पोल्यूटेंट्स। सो अगर एग्जाम में आपसे पूछा जाता है कि पोल्यूटेंट्स कौन सी फॉर्म में होते हैं, सॉलिड, लिक्विड और गैसेस, तो तीनों फॉर्म में होते हैं। और एनर्जी सच एज रेडियो एक्टिविटी, हीट, sound and light, these factors also act as a pollutant when they exceed the limit. When radiation increase more than radioactivity, heat pollution, temperature become more, sound pollution and light pollution. So pollutant may be natural originated or they may be from the anthropogenic sources. So both the natural and anthropogenic sources are responsible for the pollution. So there are many type of the pollution. So in this video we will discuss about the air pollution only. So what are the different type of pollutions? Air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, plastic pollution, soil pollution, radioactive pollution, thermal pollution, light pollution, visual pollution. So there are different many type of the pollutions present in the environment. तो चलिए अब हम डिस्कस करेंगे एयर पोल्यूशन के बारे में। सो व्हाट इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ एयर पोल्यूशन? सो अगर लेमन लैंग्वेज में बोला जाए तो एयर पोल्यूशन इज द प्रेजेंस ऑफ सब्सटेंसेस in the atmosphere that are harmful for the humans or other living beings and causes damage to the climate or material. So any substances which affect the quality of air, and this quality of air is harmful for the living beings, for the property, for the environment, for the plants, for the animals. So this situation known as air pollution. But there is a specific definition according to the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981। तो ये भी याद रखना है, एग्जाम में पूछा जाता है कि एयर प्रिवेंशन एंड कंट्रोल ऑफ पोल्यूशन एक्ट कब आया था, 1981 में। सो अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस एक्ट द एयर पोल्यूशन इज प्रेजेंस ऑफ एनी सॉलिड, लिक्विड एंड गैसियस सब्सटेंसेस इन द एटमॉस्फेयर in such concentration may be or tend to be injurious to human beings, living creature, plants, property or environment. So this is a specific definition of air pollution. Now what do you mean by air pollutants? So generally the substances or factors which are responsible for the air pollution, they known as air pollutants. So there is a WHO definition. WHO define the air pollutants as substances put into the air by the activities of mankind, means anthropogenic, in such concentration which are sufficient to cause harmful effect on the living health of the humans, vegetation, property, or interfere with the enjoyment of property. So this is the definition of the air pollutants. So what are the air pollutants? Different type of the gases, particulate matters, aerosol particles. So these are the air pollutants. Here you can see some natural air pollutants like VOCs, all these things. The stationary source is also responsible for the emission of air pollutants like emission through the volcanic eruption. So these are the different air pollutants emitted in the atmosphere. Now the types of air pollutant, ये भी काफी important topic है. So air pollutant are classified based on the different criteria. The first criteria is based on the origin and their source. So they are classified into primary and secondary air pollutants. So primary air pollutant वो होते हैं that is directly emitted in the atmosphere through the source, and secondary pollutants क्या होते हैं when the primary pollutants come in the atmosphere, they react with the sunlight or UV radiation or the moisture and form the secondary pollutant. Second category is the based on the mode of release. They release indoor or they release outdoor. So indoor air pollutants and outdoor air pollution. So whatever when we in simple word when we are talking about the air pollution, it means this is the outdoor air pollution. And there is also indoor air pollution. Suppose in our house or in our home, inside the quality of air in our home, that is come under the indoor air pollution. Now the third category is based on the state. So the air pollutant may be the solid in solid state, in maybe liquid state, and in gaseous state. The fourth one is based on the chemical composition. So either they may be gaseous or either they may be particulate matter. So these are the different types of the air pollutants. Okay, so here we discuss the based on their source, based on the mode of release, and based on their chemical composition. Okay, so these are the examples of particular category of the different type of the pollutants. So now we are discussing the primary and secondary air pollutants which are classified based on their source or origin. So primary pollutants and secondary pollutants. So primary pollutants are directly emitted from a process from a specific source. But the secondary pollutant are do not emitted from a particular source. They are formed in the atmosphere in the presence of water vapor, in presence of sunlight, presence of UV radiation. The primary pollutant react and form the secondary pollutants. So the example of these primary pollutant and secondary pollutant is very important. एग्जाम में कई बार पूछा जाता है कि which one is the example of secondary pollutant, which one is the example of primary pollutant. So याद रखना है, काफी important है. चलिए एग्जाम्पल की बात करते हैं. Now the primary example of primary pollutants as from the volcanic eruption, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, oxides of nitrogen like NO, N2O, nitrogen dioxide, particulate matter that may be PM2.5 or PM10, volatile organic carbon, PM2.5, PM10. The volatile organic carbon include the methanegenated volatile organic carbon and non-methanegenated volatile organic carbons, chlorofluorocarbons, toxic metals, ammonia, radioactive pollutant. So these are the example of primary pollutant, very important. Now the examples of secondary pollutant, nitrogen dioxide, प्रोक्सी एसिटिल नाइट्रेट. इस एग्जाम में कई बार इसकी फुल फॉर्म पूछा जाता है, तो इसकी फुल फॉर्म होती है प्रोक्सी एसिटिल नाइट्रेट. The ground level ozone, photochemical smoke, aerosols and mist and acid rain. So these are the example of secondary pollutant. यहाँ पे आप दोनों साइड में देख सकते हो NO2. This is the common in both category, primary as well as secondary. So NO2 is the only example that may be included in the primary as well as secondary category of air pollutants because it is directly emitted or it can be formed in the atmosphere. So now the NOx, we are studying the air pollution. In that, we many times we read this word NOx. So what do you mean by NOx? So basically NOx include the NO plus NO2. इसके अंदर N2O नहीं आता. ये एग्जाम में भी कई बार पूछा जाता है, काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है. NOx means NO plus NO2. Basically N2O is a greenhouse gas, so that's why generally it is not included, or we can say the contribution of this N2O is very low, very low. So that's why generally it is not considered in the air pollution. So NOx means NO plus NO2, and SOx, SOx, SOx means all the oxides of sulfur. It may be SO2, SO3, S2O5, any oxides. All the oxides are included into the SOx. जब हम पोल्यूटेंट्स की बात करते हैं तब एक टर्म आता है क्राइटेरिया पोल्यूटेंट. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, क्राइटेरिया पोल्यूटेंट्स. सो एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन आता है हु गिवन द क्राइटेरिया पोल्यूटेंट्स. सो द इन्वायरमेंटल प्रोटेक्शन एजेंसी ईपीए आइडेंटिफाई 6 क्राइटेरिया पोल्यूटेंट. कितने होते हैं? 6. वेयर इज द हेडक्वार्टर ऑफ ईपीए? वाशिंगटन डीसी, यूनाइटेड स्टेट. व्हेन वाज the EPA was established? 2nd December 1970. ठीक है, so this is the basic information about the EPA. So what are the 6 criteria pollutant? So these are the 6 criteria pollutant: carbon monoxide, lead Pb, ground level ozone, particulate matter, which include both any fraction PM 2.5, PM 10. Okay. Then after nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide. So these are the 6 criteria pollutant as given in this figure. So EPA has established the national ambient air quality standard for these criteria pollutants. When you see the national ambient air quality standard, these are the ये सबसे पहले दिए गए एयर क्वालिटी स्टैंडर्ड है जो ईपीए ने दिए गए थे. किन के द्वारा? These 6 criteria pollutants. The CPCB also given the national ambient air quality standard for 12 air pollutant in 2009. So these criteria, these standard, national ambient air quality standard of EPA are classified into two categories. Primary national ambient air quality standard that is set up for to protect the public health, and the secondary national ambient air quality standard to protect the public welfare. Welfare means property, anything like crop, vegetation, buildings, property, all these things. So primary standard protect the human health, and secondary other things are protected by the secondary national ambient air quality standards of EPA. So now the criteria pollutants. So when we discuss about the ground level ozone, why we using the word ground level? Because the ozone present in the troposphere and in stratosphere. So ozone layer present in the stratosphere. That's why the ozone present in the stratosphere, that is not pollutant. That protect us from the UV radiation. And whatever ozone present in the troposphere or ground level near the earth surface, that is a act as a air pollutant. So एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है यूवी लेयर, ओजोन लेयर प्रोटेक्ट अस फ्रॉम विच रेडिएशन? यूवी रेडिएशन. सो ओजोन इज ए कलरलेस, और कई बार एग्जाम में पूछा जाता है इसका लाइट पेल कलर, लाइट ब्लू कलर होता है. लाइट ब्लू कलर, इसको याद रखना है, ऑप्शन को ध्यान रखना. जनरली इसका ओजोन है लाइट ब्लू कलर. ओके. ओजोन का फॉर्मेशन कैसे होता है? When there are oxides of nitrogen, volatile organic carbon, and sunlight present in the atmosphere. The second criteria air pollutant is a carbon monoxide. It is a odorless gas. It is a colorless, and due to the incomplete burning, it is emitted. Third one is the nitrogen dioxide. It is a brownish gas. कई बार एग्जाम में पूछा जाता है कि एटमोस्फियर है वो एयर पोल्यूशन की वजह से ब्राउन कलर का हो जाता है, जिससे रेस्पिरेटरी प्रॉब्लम होती है। तो वो कलर किसकी वजह से होता है? ऑक्साइड्स ऑफ नाइट्रोजन, बेसिकली NO2 की वजह से होता है। एंड NO2 इज प्रोड्यूस व्हेन द फ्यूल इज बर्न एट वेरी हाई टेम्परेचर। Fourth one is the particulate matter. They are mixture of solid and liquid particulate drop in the air. Fifth one is the sulfur dioxide. It is a highly reactive colorless gas, odorless at low concentration, but very pungent at very high concentration. इसमें रोटन एग की स्मेल टाइप की स्मेल होती है सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड में। देन आफ्टर सिक्स क्राइटेरिया पोल्यूटेंट इज अ lead, a heavy metal found naturally in environment and manufactured products. So these are the 6 criteria pollutant classified by the EPA. So friends, now we are going to discuss about the what are the sources and what are the causes of air pollution. So there are different type of the air pollution sources, like natural sources, like volcanic eruption, forest fire, sea spray, dust storm, and pollen spores. The anthropogenic sources, vehicles, industries, burning, waste disposal. The mobile sources are on-road vehicles and off-road vehicles. Area-based sources are residential area, industrial area. The point source-based sources are industry, mining, refinery, and construction site. And non-point or diffuse source-based are traffic and acid deposition. So these are the different type of the source of air pollution. So there are some common sources of air pollution like burning of fossil fuel. So when we burn the large amount of the fossil fuel, it emits the several type of pollutants like sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, oxides of nitrogen, these gases. Second, automobile and vehicles. So automobiles and vehicles, when they are in the running condition, they emit the different type of pollutants like oxides of nitrogen, carbon particles, sulfur dioxide. Agricultural activities. So many agricultural activities emits the different type of gas like ammonia, like CO2 during the burning carbon monoxide. So these gases are emitted by the agricultural activities. Factories and industries, so many type of gases are emitted by the factories and industries like carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, VOCs, oxides of nitrogen. Then after the mining activity, so the extraction of minerals from the deep in the earth using the different big large machineries. So these using of these machineries again they release a large amount of different type of the gases. Now the domestic sources, घरेलू स्रोत क्या है? So घरेलू स्रोत include the household cleaning product, paint contain the toxic chemicals, smell from newly painted walls and smell present in the paint. So these are the mainly the domestic sources of air pollution. So friends, now we are going to discuss about the air pollutant events और air pollution की वजह से कौन कौन से मेजर एपिसोड हुए हैं उनके बारे में हम डिस्कस करेंगे. सो इंडिया का एक वेल नोन वेरी फेमस जो एपिसोड है दैट इज द भोपाल गैस ट्रेजेडी, जिसको हम भोपाल डिजास्टर के नाम से भी जाता है. ये कब हुआ था? ये 2 और 3 दिसंबर की मिडनाइट में, और ये कह सकते हैं कि 11 से लगभग 12 बजे के बीच में हुआ था 1984 को. तो अगर एग्जाम में ये क्वेश्चन बहुत बार पूछा जाता है इसकी डेट के बारे में, तो राइट आंसर होगा 2 दिसंबर 1984 को हुआ था. तो इसको याद रखना है. कहाँ पे हुआ था ये? At the Union Carbide India Limited UCIL pesticide plant that was located in the Bhopal in Madhya Pradesh in India. So this is the actual image of the plant. So it was basically a chemical accident due to the highly toxic gas that is known as methyl isocyanate. Okay, so basically this industry is related to the production of a particular pesticide. The name of that pesticide was Sevin and the brand name was Carbaryl. So they are using the methyl isocyanate as a intermediate product in the Sevin development for production of this Sevin pesticide. So the methylamine, they are using the methylamine that react with the phosgene gas and they form the mic, and this mic react with the 1-naphthol and form the final product कार्बारिल. So इसमें क्या रिएक्शन होती है? इसमें रिएक्शन होती है, चलिए बताते हैं. इसमें मिथाइल एमीन और फोइजीन के साथ रिएक्शन करता है और क्या बनाता है? मिथाइल आइसोसाइनेट. ये मिथाइल आइसोसाइनेट है वो 1 नेप्थोल के साथ रिएक्शन करके क्या बनाता है? कार्बारिल नाम का एक पेस्टिसाइड बनाता है. सो ये इंटरमीडिएट प्रोडक्ट है, ये एटमॉस्फेयर में रिलीज हो जाता है. ये काफी टॉक्सिक गैस है और इसी की वजह से ये भोपाल गैस ट्रेजेडी हुई थी. नाउ द सेकेंड एपिसोड इज द ग्रेट स्मोक ऑफ लंदन, जिसको हम लंदन स्मोक के नाम से भी जाना जाता है, जिसको हम किलर स्मोक के नाम से भी जाना जाता है. और ये कब हुआ था? ये 1952 में हुआ था. काफी वेल नोन और वेल नोन एपिसोड है एयर पोल्यूशन का. सो द ग्रेट स्मोक ऑफ लंदन या ग्रेट स्मोक ऑफ 1952, दैट इज आल्सो नोन एज किलर स्मोक. ये दिसंबर 1950 में हुआ था लंदन में. सो द पीरियड यूजुअली कोल्ड वेदर. सो दिसंबर एक्चुअली लंदन में कोल्ड वेदर होता है उस टाइम. सो दैट टाइम द कोल्ड वेदर कंबाइंड विद एंटी साइक्लोन एंड विंडलेस कंडीशन. वेदर कंडीशन क्या थी? कोल्ड कोल्ड वेदर था, एंटी साइक्लोन विंड मूवमेंट थी और विंड लेस कंडीशन थी. ये कह सकते हैं कि विंड की स्पीड ही एकदम नेग्लेजिबल थी. The airborne particles that are emitted from the coal burnings, from the coal, these combine together and form a thick layer over the London, over the city of London. So it lasted from the Friday 5th December to Tuesday 9 December. तो 5 दिसंबर से लेके 9 दिसंबर के बीच में ये कंटिन्यूस, मतलब 4-5 दिन तक कंटिन्यूस एक थिक लेयर है वो एटमोस्फियर सिटी के, मतलब लंदन सिटी के ऊपर कंटिन्यूस रही थी. So it creates the several problem in the children, in the older people, and in the pregnant ladies and the people who were sensitive to the having the allergic problem or respiratory problems. So exam में पूछा था what was the reason of the great smoke of London? So main reason was the coal burning and diesel vehicles. So basically the particle matter and the emission of sulfur dioxide. These are responsible for the London smoke. So the London smoke come under the category of primary pollutant. Okay, because these things directly emitted in the atmosphere. So the smoke what is coming from the, when the fog and smoke mix together, they form the smoke. The smoke what is given by the Henry Anton D. Vaux in 1905 in paper Smoke, Fog and Smoke. सो हेनरी एंटन डेक्स वोक्स द्वारा 1905 में यह स्मोक वर्ड दिया गया था. नेक्स्ट एपिसोड है स्वेडलोप्स. स्वेडलोप्स एंथ्रेक्स लीक. ये कब हुआ था? 2 अप्रैल 1979 में हुआ था. जो बेसिलस एंथ्रेसिस के स्पोर हैं उनके एक्सीडेंटल रिलीज की वजह से ये इंसिडेंट हुआ था. सो द इमिशन ऑफ दीज बेसिलस एंथ्रेसिस के स्पोर जब एयर में आ गए, so that considered as a air pollutants. Okay, biogenic air pollutants. So they are released from accidentally from the Soviet military research facility in the city of Severodvinsk, सोवियत यूनियन, जो कि नाउ रशिया की एक लोकेशन है जिसका भी नाम चेंज होके दैट इज नोन एज येकातेरिनबर्ग. येकातेरिनबर्ग रशिया में. यहाँ पे ये इंसिडेंट हुआ था. कब हुआ था? 2 अप्रैल 1979. ओके, सो इसमें लगभग 66 लोगों की डेथ हो गई थी. अगर आपसे एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है सेवल डोक एंथ्रेक्स लीक हो किसकी वजह से हुआ था? बेसिलस एंथ्रेसिस, जो कि एयर के थ्रू स्प्रेड होके. अदर एयर पोल्यूशन एपिसोड्स, तो कुछ अन्य एयर पोल्यूशन एपिसोड्स के होते लाइक मीयूज वैली जो बेल्जियम में है 1930 में हुआ था. डोनोरा पेनिनसिल्वानिया यूएसए 48 में हुआ था। लॉस एंजल्स स्मोक, ये भी काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है, लॉस एंजल्स स्मोक 1973 में हुआ था। द कुवैत ऑयल फायर की वजह से काफी पोल्यूशन हुआ था 1991 में। योकेची अस्थमा जो 1960 से लेकर 1972 तक रहा था। मेलबोर्न डस्ट स्टॉर्म जो 1983 में आया था। एंड मलेशियन हेज जो कि 2005 में बना था। सो ऑल दीज आर आल्सो कम अंडर द एयर पोल्यूशन एपिसोड्स। Now the effect of air pollution, very important. So air pollution having the all the body parts of the human, including the lungs, heart, endocrine system, brain, fetus, cardiovascular motility, okay, the immune system. So all the part is affected by the air pollution. So air pollution can affect the humans. It can affect the animals. It can affect the plants. It can affect the properties means buildings or other structures, or it can affect finally the environment. So air pollution having the effect on all the systems. So diseases, the first is that it creates the diseases. So air pollution mainly responsible for the allergies, respiratory disorder and cardiovascular problems, heart related disease and mainly the lungs. It can also create the lung cancer if the condition is more severe. So the children who living near the any polluted sources, they are more prone to the pneumonia and asthma. The chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, ये काफी कॉमन वर्ड है जो आता रहता है, COPD. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, it is the long-term exposure of air pollutants, especially particulate matter and tobacco smoke. याद रखना भाई, tobacco smoke can contribute to the development and progression of COPD. Premature birth and low birth weight, जो नए बच्चे जन्म लेते हैं या तो उनका प्रीमेच्योर बर्थ हो जाता है, अगर उनका जन्म होता है तो उनका वेट बहुत कम होता है. So these are the some major problem of due to the air pollutants. Now the diseases associated with the particulate matter. So this is again important. The first one is the 1 minute. The first one is the black lung disease. Okay. So black lung disease जिसको कोल वर्कर्स न्यूमोकोनियोसिस के वर्ड से के नाम से भी जाना जाता है. तो ये बेसिकली होता है कोल डस्ट की वजह से. याद रखना, ब्लैक लंग डिजीज किसकी वजह से होता है? कोल डस्ट की वजह से. सेकेंड वन है सिलिकोसिस जो होता है सिलिका डस्ट की वजह से. थर्ड वन है एस्बेस्टोसिस जो एस्बेस्टोस फाइबर है, अगर उनका हम रेस्पिरेटरी सिस्टम के थ्रू अगर वो लंग्स में चले जाते हैं, सो देयर इज ए प्रॉब्लम ऑफ एस्बेस्टोसिस. देन आफ्टर बायोसिनोसिस जिसको बोलते हैं ब्राउन लंग डिजीज. तो ब्राउन लंग डिजीज इज मेनली ड्यू टू द कॉटन फ्लेक्स एंड हेम्प डस्ट. So जो worker they working in the textile industry, they having the problem of brown lung disease, that is known as biocinosis. Then after berylliosis, that is known as chronic beryllium disease due to the beryllium dust or fume. So mainly the people who working in the electronic industries. Then after the farmer's lung, so the people who working in the farms or in the grain storage facilities. So the dust coming from the moldy hay, straw and grain, that is responsible for creating the farmer's lungs. Then after the siderosis. Siderosis is mainly due to the inhalation of iron dust. So people who working in the metal industries, people who working the welders work, so these are more sensitive to the siderosis or having the more prone to the siderosis. So in this picture you can see this is PM10 means particulate matter 10. PM10 का मतलब the particulate matter having the aerodynamic diameter is less than and equal to 10 micrometer. These are the diameter in 10 micrometer. This is the PM 2.5, this is the PM2 and this is the PM 0.1. So here you can see the size is continuously increasing. When the size of particulate matter is continuously decreasing, see there only PM10 goes up to this level, but PM2 point also affect the little some part of the lungs. PM2 come go affect the all the lungs, all the part of lungs, and PM 0.1 micrometer particles, even though they enter into the blood vessels through the lungs. So here you can see the size of particulate matter play a dominant role in the different type of the problems in the human being. So the another problem is the acid rain. These are the some effect of the air pollution. So acid rain क्या होता है? अम्लीय वर्षा जिसको हम कहते हैं, ये कैसे आती है? So the acid rain term given by the Robert Angus Smith in 1852. ठीक है? So when the burning of fossil fuel take place, the emission of oxides of nitrogen and oxides of sulfur in the air. So oxides of nitrogen हम उनको कह सकते हैं NOx, and oxides of sulfur SOx. Generally, commonly we कह सकते हैं NO, NO2 and SO2. These are responsible for the acid rain. So कौन सी रेन को हम एसिड रेन कह सकते हैं? When the pH of rain is लेस देन 5.6. याद रखना काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है, एग्जाम में पूछा जाता है कि एसिड रेन की पीएच 5.6 से कम होती है. सो पीएच व्हेन द पीएच ऑफ रेन इज लेस देन 6.5, दैट रेन इज टर्म्ड एज एसिड रेन और एसिड प्रेसिपिटेशन. सो प्रेसिपिटेशन और रेन में क्या डिफरेंस होता है? सो एनीथिंग come on the surface in the form of ice, in the form of ice particles, or in the form of water or droplet, they known as combinedly they known as precipitation. And water when come on the surface in the form of water droplet, they known as rain. So what happen when these pollutants like NO, NO2 and SO2, when they emit in the atmosphere, they react with the water. Here you see SO3 react with the water, they form the H2SO4. This is the sulfuric acid. Okay. When HCl react with H2O, they form HCl. When the carbon dioxide react with water, they form the carbonic acid. When the oxides of nitrogen react with the H2O, they form the nitric acid. So exam में पूछा जाता है, who are responsible for the in acid rain? So sulfuric acid and HNO3, nitric acid, both are responsible for the acid rain. प्रॉपर्टी डैमेज, एयर पोल्यूशन की वजह से क्या प्रॉपर्टी को डैमेज होता है? सो एक क्लासिकल एग्जांपल ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी डैमेज इज द ताजमहल. सो ताजमहल का कलर है वो कंटिन्यूअसली चेंज हो रहा है. यहाँ पे देख सकते हो कि पहले इसका कलर एकदम प्योर व्हाइट था, अभी धीरे धीरे ब्राउनिश कलर की हो रही है. जो मार्बल है इसके आउटसाइड में, मार्बल हम बेसिकली किसको कहते हैं? मार्बल होता है कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट. ओके. व्हेन द why it is affected? Because it is situated in the Agra Taj, in the Agra, near the Agra in Mathura, there is the oil refineries, and when the oil refineries working, they emit the large amount of the sulfur dioxides. This sulfur dioxide responsible also responsible for the acid rain. When these acid come in the contact with the marble of Taj Mahal, so they create the problem. So when the SO2 react with calcium carbonate, they form calcium sulfate, okay, or calcium nitrate when the NO2 react. So these calcium and these are easily solubilized with the water. So there are patches of brown color on the marble, and this phenomena, the breakdown or degradation of marble, this phenomena known as stone leprosy. So this is the factor, this is the reason why the color of his Taj Mahal is going to change. Now the effect on the animals. Okay, so the air pollutants affect the both water bodies or aquatic marine life. They affecting the animals on the animals and their habitat. There are many examples. They are extinct due to the air pollution effect. Then after global warming, when the air pollutants like CO2, like N2O and other gases, they are emitting in the atmosphere. They creating the greenhouse gases. These gases are known as, some gases are known as greenhouse gases. And these greenhouse gases, what they do, they trap the infrared radiation and increase the temperature of Earth surface, or we can say the increase the temperature around the earth surface, and these phenomena known as global warming. So global warming की वजह से क्या होता है, टेम्परेचर हाई हो जाता है. टेम्परेचर हाई होने की वजह से क्या होता है, ग्लेशियर मेल्ट हो रहे हैं, सी का है वो लेवल बढ़ रहा है, जो सी के आसपास के एरिया हैं उनमें सब में सबमर्जेंस हो रहा है, वो पानी के अंदर डूब जा रहे हैं. उसके बाद में एयर पोल्यूशन के क्या इफेक्ट होते हैं, ओजोन लेयर डिप्लीशन. When we release the several chlorofluorocarbons, halogens or hydrochlorofluorocarbon in atmosphere, they react with the ozone layer, ozone and deplete the ozone layer. So ozone layer के depletion का मतलब ये होता है कि ozone layer की जो thickness है वो कम हो जाती है. ठीक है, जनरली इसकी थिकनेस है वो 300 डोप्सन होती है. जो अगर इसमें ओजोन होल बनता है तो इसकी थिकनेस कितनी हो जाती है, 100 डोप्सन. इसके अंदर कोई होल नहीं बनता है. इस ओजोन होल का मतलब होता है कि ओजोन लेयर के अंदर कोई होल नहीं होता है, ओजोन लेयर की थिकनेस कम हो जाती है. ओके, सो व्हेन थिकनेस कम हो जाती है, सो व्हाट एवर यूवी रेडिएशन, दे more UV radiation passing through the this layer and they reach on the earth surface, and these UV radiation have very harmful effect on the living beings like skin cancer, aging, wrinkles in their skin, all these problems. Now, how we can control the air pollution? So there are many ways through which we can easily control the air pollution. First one is the avoid the using of vehicles. कैसे avoid कर सकते हैं? People should avoid the using vehicles for shorter distance. अगर आपको आसपास में जाना है तो आप vehicles को avoid कर सकते हैं. Second one है you should prefer the public transport. So you should avoid the taking a vehicle, a personal vehicle. You should prefer the public transport so that you save the burning of fuels. Promote the carpooling. If the some people are going to at some place in same office, then they should go for the carpooling, means they should share their car. In one car, four people can go easily in the office. So we reduce the number of cars or burning of the fossil fuels like which. So here in picture there is a nice message. If people are using their own vehicles, okay, suppose there are almost 70 vehicles. When we avoid these vehicles, if suppose these people are using this bus, so you can see how much number of the vehicles we can reduce from the roads. So we also reduce the traffic, we can reduce the burning of fossil fuels. So that's why the carpooling is a efficient way to reduce the air pollution. We should go for the alternative like the e-vehicles. Then after, for energy conservation, we should use the CFL bulb to reduce, to save the electricity. We switch off the electric appliance when they are not in the use. Use the clean energy resources. We should divert toward the other potential sources of the clean energy like solar energy, wind energy, and geothermal energies to reduce the air pollution. The other pollution control measures include the use of fire and reduce the using of fire and fire products, reduction of industrial emissions, fossil fuel substitute. We go for the alternative fuel like we go for the CNG, we go for the hydrogen, we go for the blended petrol or diesel, we go for the electrical vehicles. Okay, there should be regular checking of the vehicles for the PUC certificate, upgrading the industrial and vehicle machinery. जो भी नए व्हीकल्स आ रहे हैं, मशीन इंडस्ट्रीज हैं, उनमें नई नई जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट आ रहे हैं पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल को, उनको इंस्टॉल करना चाहिए. देन आफ्टर वी गो फॉर द एफोरेस्टेशन और ट्री प्लांटेशन. सो दीज आर द सम अदर measures to tackle with the air pollution. Now the air pollution control related act and programs in the India. So in India, initially the Environment Protection Act of 1986, that is known also known as the Umbrella Act because it include many things. So it is also protect from the having the legislation related to the air pollution control. Then after there was a separate air pollution act was established in 1981, the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981, which was amended in 1987. And जब ये amend हुआ तो इसमें क्या हुआ, 1987 को the noise included in the as a air pollutant. तो 1987 को जब एयर पोल्यूशन के एक्ट में अमेंडमेंट हुआ था 81 से, जो एयर पोल्यूशन का एक्ट है 81 का, उसमें 1987 में जो अमेंडमेंट हुआ था उसके अंदर नॉइज को एज ए एयर पोल्यूटेंट इंक्लूड किया गया था. द एयर क्वालिटी इंडेक्स, development of air quality index to know the quality of air at particular location. The government of India launched the National Clean Air Program to improve the air quality in 31 cities by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change in 2019. Prana, this again a program of Government of India, portal for regulation of air pollution in non-attainment cities. So it is a portal for monitoring of implementation of National Clean Air Program. So this is actually we can say website where we can see the progress of National Clean Air Program. Okay, so किस सिटी में एयर की कंडीशन क्या है या जो एयर क्लीन प्रोग्राम है उसका क्या स्टेटस है. उसके बाद में है नेशनल एम्बिएंट एयर क्वालिटी स्टैंडर्ड इन 2009 given by the CPCB. Then after government also launched the graded response action plan GRAPE, जो दिल्ली में सबसे पहले लागू किया था फॉर प्रिवेंशन कंट्रोल एंड अबेटमेंट ऑफ एयर पोल्यूशन इन दिल्ली एंड NCR. It was released by the Ministry of Environment, Pollution and Climate Change and CPCB in 2017. Then after implementation of Bharat Stage 6 norms in 2020, and then after BREATHE. So BREATHE is a 15-point action plan to fight air pollution by the नीति आयोग. So एक नीति आयोग का प्रोग्राम है 15-point action plan है नीति आयोग का एयर पोल्यूशन से को टेकल करने के लिए. So these are the some initiative taken by the government to control the air pollution. Now we are going to discuss about the National Air Quality Index AQI. काफी कॉमन वर्ड है, काफी सुना भी होगा आपने. AQI आज उस जगह पे इतनी AQI है, उस जगह पे इतनी AQI है. तो बेसिकली AQI वैल्यू आज वेरिएबल एट एवरी मिनट because the concentration of pollutants in the atmosphere is continuously changing. So there is no static value. But when we take any average value of a particular location, it gives the idea about of the concentration of the idea about the air quality of the particular location. So the air quality index launched in 2014, and the outline of this index is the one number, one color and one description. तो इसका मतलब क्या है one number? Suppose there is a one number 50. So here you can see the value is 0 to 15. So 50 is a value, one number, one color. 50 given in the green line, one color and one description. It means the air quality have come under the good category. So that's why the AQI as outlined as one number, one color and one description. So in the calculation of AQI, we include, it is based on the 8 pollutants. 8 pollutants को इसमें include किया जाता है. The pollutants name is PM10, PM2.5, oxides of nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, ozone, ammonia and lead. So these are the 8 pollutants that are used in the calculation of the air quality index. So there are how many categories? There are 6 categories of air quality index. One is the good, then after satisfactory, moderately polluted, poor, very poor, and severe. So these are the 6 categories of air quality index. So who developed the air quality index? So it was developed by the CPCB in collaboration with the IIT कानपुर. तो इसको याद रखना है. कौन सी IIT ने? IIT कानपुर. कानपुर with CPCB developed the National Ambient Air Quality Index. Again, this table is very important. इसको याद रखना है क्योंकि ये अलग अलग बुक में, कई बुक्स में अलग अलग टाइप से दिया हुआ है. अगर आप इंटरनेट पे भी इसको सर्च करो तो अलग अलग तरीके से दिया हुआ है. सो दिस टेबल इज गिवन बाय द CPCB. ओके, सो आपको इसी टेबल को याद रखना है, इसी के हिसाब से सारे आंसर करने हैं. तो 0 to 15 कम अंडर द गुड कैटेगरी, 51 to 100 satisfactory, 101 to 200 moderate, 201 to 300 poor, 301 to 400 very poor, and 401 to 500 come under the severe category. Now the some organization or institutions related for the managing of air pollution or controlling of the air pollution. The first one is the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, established in 1985. The headquarters is located in New Delhi. Then after CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board, established on 22nd September 1974, and the headquarters located in New Delhi. Then after NGT, National Green Tribunal, it was established on 18th October 2010, and the headquarters located in the New Delhi. So friends, आज के वीडियो में इतना ही. अभी मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ कि आज से हम हमारा ऐप लॉन्च करने जा रहे हैं, जो ऐप का नाम है एनवी एकेडमी. आप प्ले स्टोर पे जाके इस ऐप को डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं, जिसका लिंक हम ऑलरेडी हमारे यूट्यूब चैनल पे भी शेयर कर दिया है, हमारे टेलीग्राम चैनल पे भी शेयर कर दिया है, और अब इसी वीडियो के नीचे हम डिस्क्रिप्शन में भी इसका लिंक दे देंगे. तो वहां पे जाके आप इसको डाउनलोड कर सकते हो. इसमें कुछ फ्री सेक्शन में काफी सारा मटेरियल अपलोड किया है, कई इंपॉर्टेंट रिपोर्ट्स भी अपलोड की गई हैं, जिनको आप डाउनलोड करके पढ़ सकते हो. साथ ही हमने इसमें कुछ 3-4 फ्री टेस्ट भी इसके अंदर डाले हैं, जो आप वहां पे जाके आप चेक कर सकते हो, अपना स्कोर को भी आप जान सकते हो. और इसी ऐप पे हम जल्द से जल्द अगले वीक के अंत तक हम एनटीपीसी की जो भी कैंडिडेट तैयारी कर रहे हैं, एनटीपीसी असिस्टेंट ऑफिसर इन्वायरमेंट मैनेजमेंट से रिलेटेड जो कैंडिडेट्स तैयारी कर रहे हैं, उनके लिए इस पे हम टेस्ट सीरीज लॉन्च करने जा रहे हैं. सो फ्रेंड्स, आज के वीडियो में इतना ही. अगले वीडियो में फिर मिलते हैं, तब तक के लिए नमस्कार.